A new station has been added to the game, and it is named Plasma Station. It is a low to medium population station that is what I would just call a gimmick station. It does not feature normal things found on space stations, meaning that the normal hallways look like this. They look like some weird, like asteroid planet type thing, something you wouldn't normally find on a space station, and the maintenance tunnels are actually fairly normal looking. They're just the usual underplating with catwalks. However, though, those catwalks do extend into the main halls. Asteroid walls are also a pretty regular decoration on this station, and even in places like where solid walls would be. So certain parts of departments might get partially mined out, but nothing ever seems to be load-bearing necessarily. The outside of the station also is surrounded in layers upon layers of these asteroid rocks, but there's still always seems to be some form of reinforced wall. So don't think things like Barachi, where things can get spaced by a complete accident or very easily. That does not seem to be possible here. This station also features unique things like this station also features a full shuttle building area, actually with a pre-built like physical layout for a shuttle. There are these pools of plasma. These doors are accessible by anyone with maintenance access. Permanent security is an internal structure on this station. Yes, again, these are not maintenance halls. These are real halls that connect to maintenance halls, so it is very visually confusing to people who are used to more normal stations. But perma, security, the armory are all very internal on this station. Science is connected to the station through hallways, but like they have like this airlock system, and their other entrances are kind of just like tucked away in this grill structure back here. So I can actually see people having a really hard time finding this. There's no front-facing science doors, so if you don't see the signs, you might very easily miss science. The science doesn't have like any windows or anything for people to like want to request things. I honestly don't even see any outward-facing intercoms. So like science is kind of just really tucked away in this corner here, and it's already difficult for people to negotiate with science a lot of the time, and I think this just make it even harder. However, the artifact room is gorgeous. It being this separated will make it really hard for one explosion to take out all of science, and the AI is directed or connected pretty directly to science. This AI is also pretty flimsily connected. There's only one solid tile actually connecting this thing to the station, so one bomb that spaces, it's pretty much over, or just one RCD, it's pretty much over. Another station has also been added in a game. It is named Elkridge Depot. It is a small population map. The heart of this station is a very large service area. There is this beautiful looking stage. Well, beautiful as in it's a really spacious stage. It intentionally has holes in it. It looks a little run down. But other than that, it's obviously a very well-loved stage, well-used. The bar area and stuff is it basically is the central part of the station. You even have like this grand staircase entrance. There's this very large hall in front of it, and the vault is directly in front of it. This is actually a westerly facing bridge, which is very unique as well. Nothing else really, no other bridge really looks like this. Also has the usual meeting hall, which I absolutely love when maps have stuff like this. It also features this really unique docking arm. There is a command-only access part of the evac shuttle. The evac shuttle normally connects right here, so seeing a command-only access to the evac is also really neat, and I can 100% see right now some syndicate agent, when evac gets called, is going to break through this maintenance and hide in this disposal bin to jump a command member they need to kill. Guaranteed 100% it's happening within a week. This station has a Tesla setup. It's not 100% complete. On start, as you can see, there is fields missing. You're going to have to drag them over. This does allow for some modularity and customizing. People tend to enjoy things like that quite a lot, but it is not fully done at the start, but you can literally see where things are intended to go, so it's kind of just plug and play for engineers that may not be all that experienced. There's other things, obviously, to mention on the station, but this whole video is going to be me covering two stations if I spend more time on it. Arrivals is this like internal structure here that I like how there's just a torture room right off the start here. Also, I like the little nuki setup, and the AI core is attached pretty much to arrivals, but this is a pretty solid AI core. It's not little flimsy rods, which is something that's like a pet peeve of mine, but it's also pretty easy to break into because it's not really a spacewalk. It's just right here. Anyways, I think this looks really cool. More low pop maps is great, and well, we got more low pop and medium pop maps. Arcades and recyclers may now say scary things when you use the boo action as a ghost near them. Ammo loaded out of an ammo box into a mag will now actually have like proper forensics on it, so if I just take this gun and shoot it, and I forensically scan the bullet, we will see that there is now DNA evidence on it. So you can't hide your fingerprints because you would still be moving the bullets into the magazine. So this can help detect us out even more in a case where fingerprints wouldn't exist in a situation where they should have, or fibers or something like that. You can now construct bended radiators, which is just really useful for getting radiators to go around a curve or bend and save space. There's a copy thresholds all devices button under sensors now for air alarms, so it's really just a convenient thing added for mappers and Atmos techs alike. Warm light bulbs have been added, and they do exactly what you think they do. They make a room look warm, they're pleasant on the eyes, and make things just in general look a little bit nicer. You can now shoot lights directly, which can shatter them. I see this making for some extra cinematic moments during big hails of gunfire, during things like Nuki. Seeing the lights in a hallway be shot out, I think will look very cool, and it has good gameplay implications. You can shoot a light out to conceal your cover as like an active measure in fighting. Either way, very small feature, but I think it'd have big gameplay implications. Mime PDA is now entirely silent to interact with. Putting pens or ID cards in it makes no sounds. Probably pretty fitting for the Mime. You could craft pet carriers are rather cheap now. They only cost 5 plastic and 4 rods, and yes, you can still kidnap people with them, so I expect to see that on the up and up. You can now order large instruments at the cargo request console, so that means things as big as a vibraphone, pianos, you name it. Bed sheets are now printable at the uniform printer, and some only require cloth. Some of the more expensive, more fancy ones use a little bit of DuraThread, but either way, it's still pretty cheap, and you can use it to fit out your wardrobe a little bit easier. EOD closets will now always have a screwdriver and a wire cutter in them, so you can take your proper 50-50 at defusing syndicate bombs. Doors can now once again properly close on Moustraps, so no more pesky mice being able to see that the door they're about to run under is safe. When having your antagonist status changed, or your status change in general, there is now extra messages in your chat specifically stating that you are a solo antagonist, team antagonist, what name it. Just minor more things added to the chat bar to help you really understand what role you actually are. Legally distinct Sprite machines are now in the game. Inside their vendors, they just contain their own Smite flavored sodas or soft drinks, whatever. Some drinks have also been renamed. So there's like Space Cola, Smite Cranberry. These had different names beforehand, but it's just more thematic and more in theme now. Very last thing I would mention is the game modes, Kessler and Zombie Eaters, have been removed. They were not very popular. People seemed to really loathe those when they rolled because they were just so different and so chaotic compared to the normal game modes of Space Station 14. So those are now gone from the secret pool. They may return at some point in the future. These game modes usually seem to cycle their way back in some new shape or form. Anyways, I want to thank all of our maintainers and contributors for all their hard work over the past 2 weeks, and thank you for watching.